truly persuasive game is designed to influence whoever plays it. Whether you're playing an expansive real-time strategy, an open-world MMO, or just your run-of-the-mill first-person shooter. Influencing an audience is no new science. Media and entertainment are innate pillars of our modern world. And so in the world of video games and new media, innovative fields of research are being discovered and explored. J. David Bolter and Richard Grusin are both new media scholars, and in their work on remediation, they put forward the notion that all media is recycled from older, established media forms in order to better amplify its own immediacy and authenticity within its sphere of influence. Technology has brought modern games to the forefront of entertainment, and it's common now to see them using popular cinematic cliches to extend their influence on the players engaged within. To quote Bolter and Grusin, "The goal of all media is to have an effect on society and to contribute to a cultural redefinition of self." This redefinition of self is a fundamental force for change in today's hypersaturated media environment, and understanding the mechanisms behind remediation is part of the influence marketing apparatus that plays a crucial role in the modern gaming industry. Remediation, in its essence, is the evolution of immersion in media, and in the gaming world, immersion is at the core of its design, making the entire microcosm of gaming a key player in the modern remediation, not only in media, but society at large. Immediacy is defined by someone's desire for imminence in access, understanding, and interaction, and seeking an immediate connection with the game that they're in. In interactive media like video games, players experience an intuitive, natural interface within their experience, pushing to eliminate friction between user and interface, perhaps even entirely. This phenomenon is intertwined with remediation, and throughout all forms of media. However, in video games, the technological leaps and bounds in recent years are giving life to previously unreachable depths of immersion. The rise in virtual and augmented reality is effectively taking center stage at the cusp of the remediation of its own precursor, the screen. But a truly persuasive game is designed to influence players beneath the surface. Modern computers, and in turn the games that are made available by them, hold vast levels of complexity and depth that will only grow deeper over time. This provides ever more opportunity for the user to lift the hood and really get involved, not only in the narrative and sensory elements of a gaming experience, but in the very testing of the flexibility of the game's engine and mechanics. Hypermediacy, like the name suggests, is the usage of immediacy of an interface to the extreme. To quote the author, William J. Mitchell, hypermediacy is a visual style that privileges fragmentation, indeterminacy, and heterogeneity, and emphasizes process or performance rather than the finished art object. The rise of hypermediacy in the wake of computer user interfaces sees that the space is designed so that the user is constantly in touch with the program itself for maximum efficiency. Provided that the features of the program are easily accessible and that the negotiation through the interface is as frictionless as possible, hypermediacy is achieved. This hypermediacy is seen in all aspects of personal computers, from the endless array of website layouts available online to the equally ubiquitous 3D software tools available to game designers. Fluid navigation of all these premises is an important factor to user experience, and the influence exerted by the media on the user in turn ensures that despite the potentially overwhelming complexity of these tools, the user experience is improved rather than hindered by them. For instance, games like World of Warcraft often see skilled users seeking out higher levels of immediacy within their game control of their heroes. This is the player's heads-up display when they're relatively new to the game. And this is the hyper-immediate interface of an advanced WoW player. Cinematography and spectacle have lost priority in the users, and traded in for an optimized, hypermediate method of immersive play, where the player can utilize all their available skills and opportunities to outplay their opponents. This phenomenon is not only recognized in games. Hypermediacy is the remediated result of the union of film and computer programs. Autodesk's 3D modeling software Maya with the vast array of menus, windows, and shortcuts available, streamline the use of the program. Transparent immediacy is the counterpart of hypermediacy, in that the aim is to create an interfaceless interface, to make an experience so closely intuitive to the player it effectively erases itself from the user's perception. Ever-improving graphics and sound systems permit games to strive for a level of interface transparency on par with film, where the player will not only be reminded by any indication that they are in a game, no interactive user interface, all game world. This approach relies on the idea that immersion is reliant on the absence of interface, and that the games achieve the highest reaches of immersion through the sensory satisfaction of the player. Although many games are leaning hard in one direction or another when it comes to user interactivity in games, a progressive game developer should understand the merits of both hypermediate methods of interaction for players and the transparent immediacy that games can provide. A player that can dive into a game world that is just as rich in narrative, artistic flavor, just as easily as they get lost in the depths of the mainframe of the game itself as they control its inner workings. A healthy balance of agency and inspiration, that is the fine line that a truly persuasive game rides.